All right. Welcome to the Windows Server 2025 installation presentation. This presentation is one in the series entitled Secure IT Infrastructure Demystified. And of course, software engineering, we have to have a acronym for everything. So SITID, pronounced SITID. I hath been to the mountaintop and I hath sighted the promised land. We have seen the light. So if you haven't seen the SITID series intro presentation, please view that now. The link is in the description of this presentation. And we're doing this series in response to the reality that many small and medium businesses are struggling with cybersecurity. And here is the audiences. And in this series, we're going to be delving into not only what to do, but how to do it. Here's a couple of my certifications. This is the network topology diagram of all that we're going to be building. And all demos in this series are going to be done with newly installed operating systems and services. This is important because if an existing software infrastructure is used for a demo, we're virtually certain to miss critical steps because those critical steps might have been done weeks, months, or even years ago and entirely forgotten. So we will not forget any critical steps by virtue of using newly installed operating systems and services. Okay, so this presentation is going to be pretty much straightforward. Here's our network topology diagram, and we are right there installing the Windows Server 2025 operating system onto brand new hardware. So the first thing you're going to need is an ISO file. Now, I have a Visual Studio subscription, $7.99 a year. It's the best $7.99 a year I'd ever spend. Or you can go to this link and get a free trial. Either way, you're going to get an ISO file. So you're going to either click that download button on that side, or if you're doing the free trial, there's the ISO download. And ultimately, you're going to get a product key. And your final result is going to be this file here. It'll probably be on your download folder on your PC workstation. So in order to use this ISO file, you need to make a bootable USB flash drive. Okay. And the best way I know of doing that is to use Rufus. We have another presentation in this series of how to get Rufus, but basically you go to this and download it, and you're going to end up with just a simple exe. Okay. We always like to have things as simple, clean, and elegant as possible, so Rufus is very simplistic. And what you're going to do is you're going to double-click on that exe after you download it. All right, so here's the procedure for creating a bootable USB with your Windows 2025 server on it. So you're going to take your flash drive and mount it onto your hardware of your PC workstation, okay? And this flash drive needs to be 32 gigabyte, and it needs to be formatted as NTFS, so you'll see that down here. So when you launch Rufus, this is what he looks like. And step one, device, you're going to click device here and make sure you get your 32 gigabyte flash drive. Step two, select, you punch that button, and then you're going to browse on your workstation to your ISO file, which is here. Partition scheme. Step 3 is GPT. And the target system, step 4 is UEFI. I have no idea what that stands for, but that's what you need. And we'll get rid of me here for a second here. Then you punch the start button, okay? So then you're going to end up with something that looks like this. So this will be the result. This will be your flash drive, and it'll look like this. So then on the computer where you're going to install this new operating system, okay, you're going to mount the flash drive, step 1, in the physical port, the USB port of your new hardware. And you're going to power it off, power it back on, it'll boot. And this is kind of a dark art, voodoo witch doctoring. Every hardware vendor seems to have their own way of doing this, but generally you're going to hit either F2, F7, or F12 or delete, and that'll access the BIOS menu, okay? And then you configure that to boot from ISB. So when you start your system, and a lot of these systems that you buy, let's say you buy a new mini computer, it'll have Windows 11 installed, okay? So you don't want it to boot up from the hard drive because that's just going to give you Windows 11. You're going to delete that in favor of installing Windows Server 2025, right? So you want to configure it to boot from your USB flash drive. That's where we have our Windows Server 2025 ISO. And then once you've configured it, step 4 to boot from the ISB, you reboot. And you should get this, the very first screen of the Windows Server 2025 installation. We're going to get rid of me here so we can see all this. So this is just you select the language, click the next button. With this, you're going to click install Windows Server, and I agree everything will be deleted. And then next. This is where you're going to put in the product key that you got when you downloaded your ISO file. Or you can do pay as you go. I've never done that. But if you're doing this for a home office lab, typically you want to have this done for free. Unless, of course, you're a wild man like me and you paid $7.99 for a Microsoft Visual Studio prescription. So you need to put in your product key. It'll be a 25 character guy like that, and then hit the next button. This screen will come up next. You select the desktop experience. If you're also a wild man and you only want to do things with command line, you could select that, but most mere mortals are going to do the desktop experience. Click next again. Accept the license terms down here. Then you're going to select what is your largest partition here. And click that and then click next. So this is selecting the location, the partition where we're going to install Windows Server. And then you get this ready to install and click the install button. Okay, now it's going to go and start installing, and it's going to restart, and it may boot again from the USB flash drive. If that happens, that is wrong, and you'll see this starting window again to restart the installation, right? If that occurs, remove the USB flash drive. So take the physical flash drive out of the PC, out of the computer, and then you hit either Control-Alt-Delete, or you could hit the, there's an X button up here in the upper right, and it'll start again. It'll restart again. You'll see something like this going on. It'll boot a couple more times. You may see that. And then you'll get to this window that comes up. This is for the administrator password. So select something that you're not going to forget and write it down someplace. You have to enter it twice. And then I always like to help Microsoft out. And if you click the accept button here, they'll send information. It'll be non-sensitive information that Microsoft uses to make things better in the future. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next presentation.